Hey everybody, welcome to Back Porch Cooking and Reminiscing. I'm Roger, and as always, we are happy to have y'all here with us today. Today we're going to be doing a recipe that several of you have requested that we do, and that is a recipe for a old-fashioned cream cheese pound cake. It's simple. It's stuff that you've probably already got in the refrigerator or in your pantry. And so, not really something that you got to go out and buy extra stuff for. But this pound cake is a delicious pound cake. So, I'm going to show y'all just how to make it. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to cream our butter and our sour cream together. Now, of course, y'all know that I'll leave you the ingredients and the directions in the description. But basically, what we've got here is one full stick of cream cheese, and we've got 3 sticks of butter. Now, everything that we're using that was cold, we've left set out to achieve a room temperature, and that make everything go together so much better. So now I'm going to cream this butter and cream cheese, and then we'll start adding in all the other things that goes into this cake. So we got our cream cheese and our butter creamed together, and this is what it's going to look like when you get that part done. And it's going to take you about probably somewhere around 2.5 to 3 minutes using a hand mixer like I was using. Now, if you've got a stand mixer, feel free to use it, but I don't have one, so I just use the old hand mixer. And again, it takes about 2.5 to 3 minutes to get this part done. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start adding in our sugar. But we're going to put this 3 cups of sugar, and we're going to put in about a cup at a time. All right, we're going to put some more in. Get a sugar high from snorting that sugar. And I believe we're ready for our last cup of sugar. That may have been a little more than a cup, but it'll do. All right, so we got that done, and now we're going to scrape down the sides of our bowl. Yeah, and I know if I had a rubber spatula, it would be a whole lot easier. But so we're going to do what we can do with what we got. All right, that's what I was always told: make do with what you got. So we've got our sugar creamed in with our butter and our sour cream. Now it's time we're going to start adding the eggs. Now on this, it says that we want to just add 1 egg at a time. Now, I'm not sure if I can get just 1 egg at a time in there, but we'll see what we can do. And there's 1 egg. And we got 6 altogether. And 4 eggs. And 6. So we got all 6 of our eggs in there. And we just want to beat this until it becomes fluffy. All right, y'all. And that's, well, one other thing. We're going to go ahead and add our vanilla in. And I don't remember exactly how much vanilla that was, but again, I will put it in the description for you so that you'll be able to see how much of everything that you got to have. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding in our cake flour. And we're using the Swan's Down cake flour. And if y'all have never used it before, this is what the box looks like. If I can get it down there where you can see it. Swan's Down. And so that's what we're using today. You can use flour, just regular flour, but it's going to make your cake a little more dense. So you want to use this cake flour if you've got it or if you can find it. All right, so we're going to just slowly add our cake flour in. All right, right, we just about got all of our flour put in. Okay, that's going to be all the flour. So now we just get it all mixed up and incorporated in. That's the fun thing about baking is that you can get it all over you. All right, so now we got that done. So we're done with the mixer. And what we're going to do now, after I wipe some of this flour off of me, we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Got my rubber spatula here, so I'm going to put our buttermilk in there. And then we're going to use our rubber spatula just to fold it in, and that way we've got a chance to scrape down the sides and everything. Make sure we got everything mixed up good on the bottom. Looking good. All right, so I think we've got that done. And you can use for this, you can use a bump pan or you can use a loaf pan. I think I'm going to use the loaf pan on it. So you want to make sure that you spray your loaf pan down generously with some nonstick. And if you don't have any nonstick, you can always coat it with some butter and some flour and just do it that way. But that's what you want your mix to look like. You want it to be somewhat thick, but enough that it does fall off. So that's going to be our next thing is we're going to get it into a pan. We've got the oven preheated to 325. This is one of our loaf pans that we're going to use. And so we're just going to start pushing our batter off into that loaf pan. Now you do want to leave a little bit of room in your pan for this to rise. So maybe leave a inch, inch and a half from the very top. But that's what you're going to look like. Like I say, leave about an inch, inch and a half from the top. And then you're going to go into that 325 oven with it. All right, y'all. So we're back with our pound cake. And going to let you in on a little secret that most people probably don't know about unless you're a avid baker. But with a pound cake, the best thing you can do once you turn it out of the pan and let it cool just a little bit, once it gets to where it's just really warm to the touch, you need to get you some saran wrap, plastic wrap, and you want to wrap one layer around it, wrap a second layer around it, get it good and tight, and then wrap a layer of aluminum foil around it. Now, best thing to do is to leave this sit on your counter. Don't put it in the refrigerator. Leave it sit on the counter overnight. And what that's going to do for you is it's going to give you much, much softer sides of your pound cake, and your top will be fairly soft. You may get still a little crunch around the edges right here, but that's okay. It tastes good. And talking about taste, once you leave it sit wrapped in this plastic wrap overnight, the taste is just unbelievable. And that's what we've done to this one. It's been sitting overnight on the counter. All right, y'all. So there is our pound cake, and it smells wonderful. All right, so we're going to cut a piece of it and just see how it is. Like I say, it's still a little crunchy there around the corners, but the inside and the bottom is just unbelievably moist. Want y'all to look at that. Hopefully you can see it. It's dense, but it's sponge-like. And that's what you want. All right, so we're going to get the piece of this. We're going to put it on a plate, and I've got some strawberry topping that we're going to put on there with it. So we'll be back in just a minute and I'll show you what that looks like. So there's our finished piece of pound cake with some strawberries and a little bit of juice on them. And this should be delicious. So the only thing we got left to do now is give it a try. So I got me a good bite here with some strawberries on it. Got some of that strawberry juice. So here goes. We're going to see how it is. Mm, 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 mm. Y'all, that cream cheese pound cake is out of this world. I'm telling you, if y'all make this for your family, they will love this. Just remember the little tip I gave you there about wrapping it up and letting it sit overnight. But this is delicious. It really is. That's as good, if not better, than any pound cake that I've ever bought at a grocery store. So, y'all, make this for your family, share it with your friends, hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell button, get our notifications when we post a new video. And we sure do appreciate y'all watching. And just want to say we're getting really close to 30,000 subscribers. So those of you out there that you may be watching but you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Y'all have a great one. Thanks a lot.